Okay, so the next question is how to deal with a setback during recovery. Again, this is a question that comes up an awful lot. The first thing I would say about setbacks during recovery is that they always happen and they're to be expected. Be really careful about being all or nothing about them. Be really careful about your own feelings around a setback during recovery. Remember that a person with an eating disorder is often highly sensitive to failure, not being perfect, letting people down. So if they have a setback, they're going to be feeling that acutely, and they're going to feel worried about it and having negative thoughts about themselves. So what you can do as a supporter in that situation is that you can role model really being very normal about it, being proactive about it, and use the setback as something constructive, that you are going to learn something from this. So turn it into something positive. So I always say, sit down, think through what's happened in the last week or the last couple of weeks. There's always a reason for it. It never just happens out of nothing, even when the person themselves doesn't know why it's happening. Think it through with them. Think about all the tiny little, trigger things that might have happened, upsetting things, and you will always see there's been a build-up of something and the result has been the eating disorder behaviour. Because we know that the eating disorder behaviours come as a way of coping with something that the person is feeling. So when a person has a setback, sit down, think it through, use it as a way of learning. So you're trying to figure out what can we do differently from now on that will help the person to cope in a different way in this situation. So you use it as a way of learning, and if you do that, you're more likely that the person will keep going in their recovery, and that even though they've gone backwards, they will go forwards. And always remember that recovery is not a linear process. It is always a process of going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Yeah, that it's a general push towards being better, but there's always going to be that little bit back and forwards as well. So don't despair, just draw a line under it and keep going.